No matter what they do, your thoughts keep coming back to them. It's as if there's an invisible thread that ties your souls together, pulling their mind back to you no matter how far they try to run or how hard they try to distract themselves. They find your presence lingering in the quiet moments of their day, the sound of your laughter echoing in their head, the warmth of your energy replaying in their memory. They can't escape it, because deep down, they know you are someone special, someone irreplaceable. Your person is beginning to notice something different about you. You're growing, blossoming into a more independent, confident, and self-assured version of yourself. The very qualities they once took for granted are now the ones drawing them in, filling them with regret. They can see that you've chosen to rise above the pain they caused. You're no longer waiting for their attention or validation. You've learned to give that to yourself. You're building your own path, one that no longer depends on them for happiness. And it's this transformation that's making them realize just how deeply they mishandled what they had with you. They regret being careless with your heart. They can't help but replay moments when they should have spoken up but stayed silent, times when you reached out but they pulled away, moments when love was within their grasp but ego and fear stood in the way. They're realizing that they didn't treat you fairly. They took your kindness, your loyalty, and your patience for granted. They assumed you'd always be there, waiting, forgiving, loving them despite their flaws. But now that you've pulled back your energy, the silence is louder than ever, and they're starting to understand the magnitude of what they lost. Your person knows they didn't take this connection as seriously as they should have. Back then, they may have convinced themselves that what you had was replaceable, that they could move on and find something easier, less intense. But they were wrong. What you shared was rare, something that doesn't just fade away with time. Now, life is giving them a taste of their own medicine. The same way they made you feel unseen, they're now experiencing loneliness and uncertainty. The same emotional distance they created between you is now haunting them. In a way, karma has found them, mirroring back everything they put you through. Meanwhile, you've shifted your focus. You've redirected your energy toward your life, your dreams, and your goals. You've started embracing your independence and realizing your worth. You're doing the very thing they once thought you couldn't, thriving without them. And while you're out there chasing success and peace, they're sitting in their own thoughts, wondering what you're doing, whether you're thinking of them, and if you still miss them. They can't help but check your social media, reread old messages, or revisit old photos. They're nostalgic, yearning for a time when things felt simpler, when love between you was effortless. As time passes, your person is beginning to realize that you both were always meant to be together. There's a magnetic pull between your souls that they can't deny. They now see that the connection you shared wasn't just a fleeting romance, it was something much deeper, something written in the stars. But their pride, arrogance, and inability to communicate properly ruined everything. They let fear and ego get in the way of something pure. Looking back, they wish they had listened more, loved better, and cherished you instead of testing your patience. Now, they're isolating themselves from people around them. They've become withdrawn, quiet, and introspective. Their friends may notice the change but don't fully understand it. They spend long nights overthinking, wondering what they could possibly do to win your heart back. They're crafting messages they never send, rehearsing apologies in their mind, and imagining conversations where they finally get the chance to tell you how much they've changed. They want to prove that they're not the same person who once hurt you, that they've grown, learned, and evolved. But the fear of rejection holds them back. They worry that you've moved on completely and that they've lost their chance forever. Your absence is hurting them in ways they never expected. It's not just about missing your presence, it's about missing the way you made them feel. You brought warmth into their life, balance to their chaos, and meaning to their ordinary days. Without you, everything feels dull, colorless, and incomplete. They're filled with anxiety at the thought of never being able to make things right. Every time they see something that reminds them of you, a song, a scent, a familiar place, their heart aches. They know they caused this distance, and now they're the ones paying the emotional price. Deep down, they know that you are their true love. They've met others, but no one compares to you. No one understands them the way you did, no one challenges them or inspires them the way you used to. They realize now that love isn't about control or pride, it's about vulnerability, patience, and understanding. And you taught them that, even if they only learned it after losing you. The idea of never being able to hold you again, never hearing your voice, or never having another chance to make things right fills them with unbearable pain. Now, they stand at a crossroads. One path leads to self-pity and regret, the other to growth and redemption. They know that if they truly want you back, they'll have to prove themselves, not just with words but with actions. They want to show you that they've learned from their mistakes, that they can be the person you always deserved. Whether or not you choose to give them another chance, their heart will always carry the mark you left. You were the love that changed them, the one that made them realize what true connection feels like. And though they may never admit it out loud, they know that losing you was the moment they lost a part of themselves. In your absence, they've discovered what love really means, and that realization is both their greatest pain and their most powerful lesson. I miss you more than I can truly express with words. You've been on my mind constantly, finding your way into my thoughts no matter what I'm doing. It's strange how someone can be so deeply woven into the fabric of another person's everyday life, even when they're not physically present. Lately, I've been feeling this incredible burst of inspiration, an almost uncontrollable drive to do more, to be more, to elevate myself in every possible way. But every time I stop to think about what's fueling this fire, the answer always circles back to you. Somehow, in the quiet moments and the chaos alike, you've become the center of my motivation, the spark behind every dream, every new goal, every moment of clarity I've had. It's fascinating, really, how the simplest things remind me of you. A song playing softly in the background, a place we once talked about visiting, even random thoughts about life and purpose, they all lead me back to you. It's as if you've become this gentle echo in my mind, a presence that lingers, guiding me toward a better version of myself. Some of the things I've been contemplating lately are the very same things we once discussed, late at night when the world felt still and it was just the two of us sharing our hearts. Those conversations planted seeds in me, seeds that have now started to bloom into awareness, understanding, and ambition. I want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for inspiring me, even from afar. You've awakened something in me, a deeper sense of awareness that I never knew existed. Before you, I lived on autopilot in many ways, doing things because I had to, not necessarily because I wanted to or because they held meaning. But you changed that. You made me question, reflect, and search within myself for purpose. You made me want to understand the why behind everything I do. It's as though you turned on a light in a part of my soul that had always been dim, and now I can see myself, and the world, so much more clearly. What I love most about your influence is how natural it felt. You never forced anything on me. You didn't lecture, demand, or try to shape me into someone I wasn't ready to become. You simply shared your light, and in doing so, you allowed me to find my own. You handed me this gift of self-discovery so gracefully, without expectation or pressure. That's rare. You gave me motivation without manipulation, guidance without control, love without conditions. It's something I'll never forget because it taught me what genuine care and connection truly look like. You gave me the spark to become a better man, to step up, to grow, and to truly see my worth. Before you, I don't think I realized how much potential was sitting dormant inside me. I didn't know I was capable of so much strength, passion, and emotional depth. You showed me that I could be more than what I thought I was. You believed in me, even when I didn't fully believe in myself, and that belief was powerful. It still is. You helped me recognize that I am not defined by my mistakes or fears but by my willingness to learn, evolve, and keep moving forward. I never truly understood how special and important I am until you came into my life. You made me see myself through your eyes, someone capable of love, growth, and greatness. That realization changed everything. It's humbling and empowering all at once. I feel incredibly fortunate, even blessed, to have crossed paths with a woman like you. You are unlike anyone I've ever known, strong yet gentle, wise yet curious, confident yet humble. Being with you, even for a short while, taught me more about love, connection, and authenticity than years of living ever could. Yet, with all this gratitude and admiration, I can't help but feel a deep sense of regret. I regret not allowing myself to be emotionally vulnerable with you when I had the chance. I built walls where I should have built bridges. I hesitated when I should have spoken, and I withdrew when I should have reached out. Looking back, I see how fear held me back, fear of being hurt, of being seen too deeply, of not being enough. But you never asked for perfection. All you ever wanted was honesty, presence, and openness. I wish I had understood that sooner. Even so, I want you to know that you left a mark on me that time and distance cannot erase. You changed the way I view relationships, love, and even myself. You showed me that real connection isn't about control or possession, it's about growth, respect, and mutual inspiration. You taught me that love isn't just a feeling, it's a force that elevates both people involved. And even though we may be apart, that lesson stays with me every single day. When I think of you now, I don't just feel longing, I feel gratitude. You are a reminder that some people enter our lives not to stay forever, but to awaken something within us that lasts forever. You did that for me. You helped me see that love, when genuine, doesn't fade, it evolves. It becomes a quiet strength, a gentle whisper that pushes us toward our best selves. I miss you deeply, but I also celebrate you. You are the reason I strive harder, dream bigger, and love deeper. You may not be beside me right now, but your influence surrounds me in ways words can't fully capture. I will always cherish the connection we shared, the lessons you taught me, and the person you inspired me to become. And though I wish things had unfolded differently, I take comfort in knowing one thing with absolute certainty: somehow, in a way that defies logic or reason, I knew all along that you were my person. Your partner misses you deeply, more than words can fully express. They miss the way you talk to them, the softness and clarity in your voice when you explain things, and the way your words always seem to make sense, even when everything else in life felt confusing. You have a calm and understanding way of expressing yourself, and that has always stood out to them. They often find themselves replaying your conversations in their mind, remembering how you could take even the most complicated emotions and make them easier to understand. You had a way of speaking that didn't just fill the silence, it brought peace, reassurance, and meaning. It made them feel seen, heard, and understood in a world where that rarely happens. They also feel a great sense of pride when they think about you. The way you handle challenges, your maturity, and your emotional balance are things they deeply admire. You never let the chaos of life shake your values or your sense of direction. Even in difficult situations, you seem to carry a certain grace, a quiet strength that keeps you grounded. They've watched how you approach problems thoughtfully and calmly, how you face responsibilities with wisdom beyond your years. To them, you are someone who has learned the art of living with honesty and purpose. It makes them proud just to have known you, and even prouder to have shared a part of their life with you. But there's also a weight of regret in their heart, a feeling that perhaps they didn't handle things as gracefully as you did. They want to have a deep and honest conversation with you, the kind where hearts speak louder than words. They want to tell you something important, something that's been living quietly inside them for far too long. They want to say that the separation, the emotional distance, the silence that grew between you, it was never your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, you did everything right. It was they who ran away, not because of you, but because of their own fear. They acted out of cowardice, afraid to open their heart fully, afraid to let someone see the parts of them they didn't understand themselves. They thought that if they let you in completely, you might not accept them. They worried that their emotional intensity, their deep and sometimes confusing feelings, would be too much for you to handle. They doubted that anyone could truly understand both their emotional and sensual sides without judgment or rejection. So, instead of risking vulnerability, they chose to retreat, to protect themselves from a love that felt too real, too powerful, too honest. They convinced themselves that walking away was safer than staying and facing their fears. But time has a way of revealing the truth. Now, as they look back, they realize that you were never someone who would have judged them. You were patient, kind, and understanding from the very beginning. You didn't just listen to their words, you listened to their silence, their emotions, their energy. You understood them even when they didn't know how to explain themselves. You were the one who saw through their confusion and still chose to stay, to help them grow, to guide them towards self-awareness. Now, they understand that you were the right person all along, the one who could see both their light and their darkness and still accept them for who they were. You didn't just love them, you taught them valuable lessons. You showed them where they were right and where they were going wrong. You made them reflect on their actions, their patterns, and their fears. You became a mirror that reflected not only their flaws but also their potential to be better, kinder, and more open. And that realization has changed the way they see everything. They see you now as someone profoundly real. There's no pretense in you, no fakeness, no effort to impress anyone with empty gestures or sugar-coated words. You speak your truth with courage, and you do it with sincerity. That's rare, so rare that they can't help but treasure it. They admire how you stay authentic in a world that constantly pushes people to pretend, to hide behind filters and false confidence. You never needed to do that. You've always been unapologetically yourself, and that honesty shines through in everything you do. Your partner appreciates that more than you can imagine. They've come to understand that your honesty wasn't cold, it was caring. Your straightforwardness wasn't harsh, it was healing. Every word you spoke carried meaning, every opinion you shared came from a place of depth and integrity. They value that now more than ever. Your presence, your words, your wisdom, they've left a lasting impression on their heart. Even in your absence, they find comfort in the lessons you taught them. Now, they find themselves wishing they could go back, not to change the past, but to express what they couldn't before. They wish they had been brave enough to open up, to tell you how much you meant to them while they still had the chance. They wish they had trusted you enough to share their fears, their insecurities, and their love without hesitation. Because now they know that what they ran from wasn't danger, it was something rare and genuine. It was a connection that doesn't come often in life. If they could, they would tell you how grateful they are for you, for your patience, for your understanding, for your authenticity. You've taught them what true emotional maturity looks like, not by lecturing, but by living it. You've shown them that love isn't about control or perfection, it's about acceptance and honesty. And because of you, they're learning to be a better version of themselves, one who no longer runs from love but embraces it fully. They see you as someone extraordinary, true, grounded, and deeply human. You've left an imprint on their life that time cannot erase. And even if you're apart right now, they carry a piece of you in their heart, a reminder of what it means to love, to understand, and to be real.